Hey y'all, welcome to an episode of Southern and Bubbly. We're your hosts, Kaylin and Crimmins.
Pop your favorite bubbles. Fill up a coupe, flute, stemless glass, or plastic cup. And follow along as we toast to the South and our very special friendship. I need a refill. Welcome to episode 6 of Southern and Bubbly.
Yay, we're so happy y'all are here.
We started our morning off with a wonderful little treat from Gathering Grace.
Yes, we're big charcuterie people, and she was so kind to send us a little board, and I think my favorite on the board was the brie bites.
Those were the cutest little things I've ever seen.
So little tiny cheeses, almost like the little Laughing Cow cheeses.
Yes, but brie.
But brie, and tender, soft, pillowy brie.
Right, and she also added dark chocolate that was filled with, it was sea salt on top with caramel, with beautiful, beautiful pepperoni rolls, and just the whole presentation of it all is very impressive. She does a really great job.
But it's also so realistic. I felt like...
It's nothing that you would look at it and go, what is that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it was a very last minute request from us, and she was able to accommodate us, which I thought was great.
I thought that the balance of the meats and the cheeses and the fruits, then with those last two pieces of chocolate, I love candied pecans, and there were candied pecans on there too. Just like we've said, the balance of it was great. Haley has a really good eye for charcuterie boards, so we appreciated that, and it was a nice little snack.
If you need a charcuterie board in the Jackson area, Haley's your girl, Gathering Grace.
And she will deliver to you. Yes. That's even a better perk of it all.
Hey, let's tell everybody about our book club we're starting.
Oh my God, Kaylin's already on like chapter 26, and I'm over here, I'm like, I started chapter 3.
I think I'm going to finish it tonight. I really do.
So annoying. I was sitting there yesterday with Grant, and he was like, you're reading a book? I'm like, yeah, I know how to read. Isn't that crazy? Like, I can read. But yes, so how did you find this book, by the way? Because Kaylin was the one, she sent me a text and was like, we're starting a book club. I was like, yep, we're starting a book club.
You were like, give me 3 weeks. I'm really big into browsing like the weekly book list on Amazon.
Big review person.
Yes.
Yep.
I'll read the summaries of it and kind of understand the plot. I'll read the reviews from people. And I sent you a few selections.
You did. And I think you sent me a screenshot of the review from the one that we chose.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm in for this one.
Same.
Because if I'm going to buy something, like a product, I'm going to review it first.
That's
now, my tripod for my iPhone.
That is the worst tripod.
They lied. Everyone lied.
You didn't read enough reviews on that one.
But this one, I think it was the review that got me, and I was like, yep, I'm in, totally. And I ordered it right on the spot.
Yeah. So on Amazon, it's really helpful to be able to read reviews, and this one had about 75,000, almost 5-star reviews.
Well, and clearly because people enjoy it, she's coming out with a sequel.
Yes.
So you know that people really like it if there's going to be a sequel.
I agree. And so it's called It Ends With Us. So we'll dive into it a little bit later. We got to give Krim a little more time.
Look.
I've got a lot going on, okay? Got these 2 boys I take care of.
But all this to say, we would love it if you guys would join us. And
it really is great.
It is a really good book.
I'm already roped into it. I think that tonight I'm going to give myself an hour, sit down, knock out a few chapters because I'm into it. And like, I can't stand when I have to pause. Like yesterday when I was reading, Nolan woke up from a nap and I was going, oh shoot. And I was in the middle of a chapter. It was getting really good. So buy it on Amazon. It's like $9.99 if you're a paperback person. I really do love to hold a book when I'm reading.
I love to hold a book.
I underline things that I love. But I know when I was driving a little bit more with my previous job, I had a much further territory. I listened to a lot of ebooks, but I just did not get the same out of the ebooks than I did the real book.
And also, if you're able to buy it locally, call your local bookstore and see if they have it as an option. One of them being Lemuria in Banner Hall is a good choice. So I think we'll review that in the next few weeks, and we'd love it if you tune in and read with us. The plot was really interesting to me, and that is it's around domestic abuse.
Yeah.
So it's a love story, and what I think is so fascinating about it is she gets you to fall in love with the character, and then she experienced the domestic abuse, and it makes you so aware of how difficult it is for a woman to just leave, right? We always say, why can't she just leave? You know, she's being abused. Why is it not so simple? What she's doing is she's making you a fly on the wall of this relationship, and you're so invested in it that you finally understand why it's so difficult for women to leave abusive relationships.
I love how sarcastic the writing is. There's a lot of sarcasm and like dark humor.
I love that too, and it feels very relatable and easy to read.
Right.
Regardless of whatever the topic is, I think that I would continue to read anything she wrote.
It's been a hard book for me to put down, and like I said, I think I'll finish it probably tonight, but
You've had it for like 5 days.
still love for y'all to join us and chime in, and we'll have a little conversation about it soon.
Yeah, and if you do, send us like a message or something and tell us what you think too.
Send us a selfie with your book. That would be so cute, and we'll share it. We would love to do that.
I would really love to hear what y'all have to say about it if you have read it already or if you're going to pick it up and read it.
Yes.
Let us know.
This week we went to Tuk Tuk Boom. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I just love this restaurant so much.
The atmosphere is really cool too.
It's really charming, and they put a lot of thought into the look and feel of it, and they hosted us for lunch.
I had this spicy beef salad and I can't get away from it.
I know, because you had it the time before last.
And I just love it. You had their coconut soup.
And I had it the time before last.
Yeah.
I love their coconut soup, but they spoiled us with appetizers. And so I didn't get the coconut soup because I was like, oh my God, with all these appetizers, I'm gonna be so full.
Yeah.
I couldn't even finish probably half of my salad. But I don't think there's anything bad there.
I don't know how we got on this subject, but recently you and I were talking about our high school experiences, and I realized they're so different. How I feel about high school is not how you feel about high school. What stands out in your mind that made it not so great of an experience?
Whew, Lord have mercy.
That's a loaded question.
That's a pretty loaded question. I felt like, which this is also, let me just mention this. This is very strange for me to say, because as pompous as this is going to sound, I was homecoming queen my senior year of high school. And so for me to say this, I feel like is a little bit rude, but also I think that other people would possibly have this experience as well. I dated someone in high school that was a year older than me, and I guess there were other girls who felt threatened by it and literally made every single day of going to school awful until they graduated. We were, I'm not gonna say we were all, a lot of us were on the same cheerleading squad. And it was just, I would be iced out basically of anything I could, it was almost like pointing and laughing.
I would hate for anyone to experience that. I'm just shocked that it happened to you, because you seem to take to people really easily. You're very easy to talk to. I can hardly...
Well, and also too, there was a group that were our age, graduated at the same time, and people like I grew up with who would target me and just like making fun of me for just random stupid things. Like, I could tell, and they would try to make it, I'm trying to be vague, they would try to make it very like, we're laughing with you, not at you, and then turn around and laugh at me and not with me. And I'm going, what's the point of this? If you don't like me, that's fine. We don't have to be friends. And I think that's kind of how I've grown up as an adult too, is if you don't like me, that's fine. Like, if y'all don't like what we're talking about, you can turn this off. You have a choice. You can talk to me and be my friend, or you can turn around and go hang out with somebody else. You don't have to laugh at me at my expense. And I think that's where I've become so comfortable in my dumbness and like the dumb stuff that I do and say is because I was treated so poorly.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that my confidence grew, which is like, I know it's a little bit condescending.
No, I understand that.
And it's just girls being assholes.
Yeah.
Because, the guys are going to be guys. They're always going to make fun of a girl for something, at that age. But I think that in high school, I also learned to be really considerate to other people because of the way I was treated.
Did you have close friends in high school?
Those close friends were some of the ones that were laughing at me and not with me.
So did you feel alone most of the time?
A lot of times.
Really?
And like I know now too, I've experienced a couple things as an adult that I recognize when I was growing up, even in high school. And I'm like, you know what? I just don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't need to force myself to try to be your friend if you're just going to be an asshole.
I mean, I had bad experiences in high school because it's just this huge, awkward time of growth. You know what I mean? For one, I hate to say this because it's really not fair to the good cheerleaders. I'm just not a very big fan of cheerleaders.
Well.
But, hey, that was probably one of my experiences that stands out to me is I had a crush on this guy who was older than me, and one day in class, these cheerleaders knocked on the door and asked the teacher if they could hand me a note, pretending like it was from the principal, and it wasn't. They had faked his handwriting, and it was really from them, but they had pretended like it was from him. And so me being naive and just really innocent, it was probably 10th grade, really hurt me. Because I'm not a malicious person.
No.
So I kind of have this like distaste for cheerleaders, which is not fair to most cheerleaders, though. It really isn't. I really should not say that. But that was not a great experience. But all this to say, the bulk of my high school experience and the strong group of friends that I had was just awesome.
Well, and see, I think that's where our high school experiences differ. It's because you had this strong group of friends who were so supportive. And like, it wasn't just me that this group was like targeting. It was like a new person every day.
Do you believe in the quote that hurt people?
Oh yeah.
Me too.
But I also,
Like I said to you earlier, is if you don't want to be talked bad about, you should act better. I don't know many people who have looked at me and said, I hated high school, other than me.
like,
I've heard of that several times. You're not the
that
only
makes me
one.
feel better.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that several times. In fact, I've even questioned, been like, I don't know why I was able to have such a great experience and a lot of people didn't, and that makes me want to like hold on to it a little bit tighter and appreciate it more. You know?
yeah.
This is the end of the episode 6.
Hope you come back for 7. Maybe there will be an 8.